Here are some honorable mentions of weird things that happen in GTA 5, because a lot of things happened weird. So, too many for the list above. Here's some more. Like I mentioned above, cops are chasing random criminals all over the city. And they don't seem to care about pedestrians. They'll just hit them. Just hit them and keep going. But that's the crazy part. I mean, I get it. High-speed chases happening, guys crossing the street. Whoa, that was weird. That guy got hit. But to not slow down, listen, I gotta go catch a bad guy. I know that I hit you. My bad. I've gotta go. The cop car is kind of like the ambulance in John Madden Football. Remember when the ambulance would come in and just hit all the people to get to the person he's trying to help? That's kind of like what the ambulances and cops are in this game. I alluded to this in the board above, but a lot of video games that I try, they're open world games, I put like simple things like boxes in the road and seeing if the cars will go around them or stop or whatever. And this game is pretty much no different. Most of the cars freak out when there's a cardboard box in the road and they put on the brakes, don't want to hit that cardboard box. Fine with hitting a person, not a cardboard box though. And this one, yeah, definitely stopped, went around it. Sometimes just couldn't figure it out and just stayed there. But for some reason I put like a metal rack in the road and they just hit that. They're like, you know what, car or box? Who knows what kind of damage could happen to my car? A big, huge metal rack, we'll buffer that out. For some reason I saw these workers just kind of hanging out, taking a smoke break behind some building, and there was a trash can, and I was trying to figure out the physics of the trash can, see if I could move it, maybe into the street to cause some sort of chaos. And I found out if I kicked it, I kind of moved it a little bit. So I didn't do this, by the way. I was going to kick it until it got into the street. I didn't do that. But what happened is I started kicking this trash can near these workers who were having a smoke break, and they got pissed. They were like, you do not kick our trash can. For some reason it's theirs. So they chased me. And they're like, get that dude, he's kicking the trash can. You know, our boss wouldn't like it. We'll get in trouble. Or other reasons. So let that be a lesson to you people in GTA 5. Don't go kicking no trash cans or trash bins. People might get pissed at you. One cool thing is you can actually go into some of the stores. A lot of the buildings are, you know, just a fake wall with a door and some things that look like something's going on inside, but nothing's going on inside. This was a liquor store, and I went in and saw some cool things, some posters, and, you know, it looked like an actual store. So I decided to, you know, cause a little problems and smash some stuff because I realized I could kick. So I started kicking anything I could see. And I smashed a lot of bottles and some boxes, because boxes, by the way, blow up really weird in this game. Anyway, I was causing havoc in the store, and the guy didn't seem to mind. He's just like, listen, I'm not getting paid enough to deal with you. So I decided to go in the back room and see what was there, because he was fine with all the other stuff I'd done. And, you know, I found some crates. I was pushing stuff around, seeing if he would get mad. He didn't. Then there was another back room, like a back room. So I went in there, and then the police were called. By the way, the police in this game are called even if they're not really called. They're just like, oh, there's the flag. He must have done something really bad. Let's send the cops. Or maybe that guy called him. Maybe he was just like, you know what? This guy's in my back room, and I'll see if he comes out. And everything's fine, and if he doesn't, then I'm going to call you. So I guess he called him. So don't go into the back room of the mini-marts, or you'll have the cops after you. So I drove my car really fast, kind of hit this curb and hit a girl at the same time. The girl went flying, and immediately some guy came over and just pulled me out of the car. And he was like, oh yeah? I was like, well, wait. You want to go check on the girl? And he didn't even fight me. He just kind of like looked at me like, oh, judgy. So I guess in the game you can, you know, obviously hurt a lot of people and no one seems to care. But every once in a while someone's going to like pull you out of the car if you do it too much. I'm going to say like, you should feel bad about yourself. And I did. Along the same lines as jumping into people, which I've done, as you can see above in the board, I also just would run into people, like just kind of swiftly walk past them and bump into them, which you can do. If you do it enough times, the cops are called. I guess it's essentially assault if you keep running into people. I didn't knock any of them down either. I just kind of was, you know, I gave them a good nudge. Cops. And what is with that? Cops just knowing when you've done something wrong? I was in an open field with this guy, shooting at him, and all of a sudden, here come the sirens. And some sort of satellite action is telling the cops that there's someone out there in the middle of the field shooting people. Better get over there. And to close out the weird things, which there's many more, I was on a beach somewhere and I saw two dudes with some ATVs. And I was like, wow, I'm going to take one of those and go for a ride. Because why not? And then I saw another girl kind of walking over to them. And I don't know if it was a scene that was playing out, some sort of like AI scene, and I interrupted it because I kind of came up on them. But I kind of stood there and hung out for a bit, like seeing if they would be like, get out of here! But they seemed to just be looking at me, like with the cold, dead eyes. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to get on one of these ATVs and just going to take off. Is that cool? Seems like you guys don't mind me invading your personal space, so I'm just going to take it and leave. So I get on one and start to take off. And then this is just depressing, and also a reminder of how cold this city is. I haven't said it enough. As I'm taking off, I put on the brakes for a minute, check back to see if they're following me, and the two guys are encountering the woman who's coming over and like was going to talk with them, and one guy just lays her out. He just punches her, and I'm like, what? Why? Is it because of me? Did I take the ATV and maybe was that her ATV and maybe there's confusion? What I'm thinking is maybe it was one of their ATVs, and they accused her of stealing it. But I'm right there! I'm on it! I'm about to drive away. Why would they do that? It cost this poor woman. So, I thought maybe that was just a glitch and it's over. Nope, the other guy started attacking her. So, I got off the ATV, we can do that later, and I went and beat the crap out of the guy who hit the girl, and he was down for the count. And then the other guy took off. Which, by the way, we're on a beach in the middle of basically nowhere, and he essentially disappeared. So, how's he get to do that? He assaulted that lady. He needs to pay for his crimes. Sad to say, the lady did not make it. I checked. Kind of jostled her with my feet. She didn't make it. So I guess if you take someone's ATV and steal it and try to go for a joyride, who knows what can happen. So there's some of your honorable mentions of weird things that happen in GTA 5. If you're watching this on the YouTubes and you have no idea what I'm talking about when I mention the board above me, you should go to this link and you can check it out. It's the top 10 weird things that happened to me in GTA 5. There are many more. If you have one, tweet them at me, at Onawa, or just leave a comment on the page if you're at this link. And I'd love to hear them because Los Santos is a weird and dark, cold world, and I'm sure you have plenty of stories. So tell me. Okay, I'm going to go put more boxes in the road and see what happens. Maybe that trash can.